Black Americans have done a lot for our country, but it was almost never spoken about during their time. Thanks to one Black business owner, one beach became a safe vacation spot for Black Americans during Jim Crow segregation. Mike Powell tells us about the dream oasis on the ocean in the Black History Month Minute.
Did you know in Florida, African Americans could not swim in the same swimming pool as whites? They could not play or build sandcastles or swim at the same beaches as whites as recently as 59 years ago. Today, let's learn about American Beach, Amelia Island, Florida. It took the vision and foresight of Mr. Abraham Lincoln Lewis, Florida's first Black millionaire and president of the Afro-American Insurance Company, to give African Americans the only beach in Florida legally available for them to swim. American Beach, which offered safe, secure overnight accommodations during Jim Crow segregation, was founded in 1935 by the Afro-American Life Insurance Company, AALIC, which was established in 1901 to provide the Jacksonville, Florida Black community with life insurance. Between the late 1930s and 1950s, tourists made the pilgrimage, coming from hundreds of miles away to visit this Black-owned oasis while passing dozens of resorts that were off limits to them, boldly posting "for whites only" signs. Even prominent entertainers like Cab Calloway, Ray Charles, and Duke Ellington made their way to American Beach. After the Civil Rights Act and integration began to reshape the country, and states had to legally retract those restrictions, many regular visitors began to visit other beaches that now were legally open to them. Many families from our area, Alachua, Bradford, and Columbia counties, took to the road in the spring and summer months to visit American Beach, or African Americans' dream oasis on the ocean. As you have just witnessed, Black history is American history. With the NAACP, Divine 9, Black History Month Minute, I'm Mike Powell.